There was a man who spent most of his life asking one question: what will they think of me? Before he spoke, he thought about how people might react. Before he made a decision, he wondered whether people would approve. And whenever someone disagreed with him, he immediately questioned himself. He thought he was being considerate. He thought he was being a good person. But slowly, something inside him began to disappear. His opinions became quieter. His decisions became slower, until one day he couldn't even tell the difference between what he wanted and what he thought other people wanted from him. That's the hidden cost of seeking approval. You don't just ask people to accept you. You slowly give them permission to decide who you become. But here's what most people get wrong. Becoming mentally strong doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It doesn't mean becoming arrogant. And it doesn't mean saying, I don't care what anyone thinks. That's not strength. Real strength is being able to listen to people without allowing their opinions to control your identity. And there's a simple way to start practicing this. But first, you need to understand why approval feels so powerful in the first place. Imagine a young man named Daniel. Daniel was intelligent. He worked hard, and he had a dream. He wanted to start a project of his own. For weeks, he planned it. He was excited. Then he told a friend. His friend looked at him and said, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Daniel laughed. "Yeah, maybe you're right." That night, he started questioning everything. The next day, someone else criticized the idea. Daniel changed his plan. Then another person said it probably wouldn't work. He changed it again. A few weeks later, Daniel wasn't building his dream anymore. He was building something nobody could criticize. And that's impossible. One evening, he looked at his unfinished project and realized something painful. He hadn't failed. He had never really started. He had spent so much energy trying to make everyone comfortable with his decision that he had forgotten to ask himself whether the decision was right for him. Why does this happen? Because human beings naturally care about social acceptance. Approval can feel like safety. Rejection can feel like danger. So when someone disagrees with you, your mind can turn a simple difference of opinion into something much bigger. You might think, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't respect me. Maybe I should change. And sometimes changing your mind is exactly the right thing to do. But there's a difference between learning from criticism. Most people think the answer is to become more confident. It isn't. At least, not at first. If you've spent years asking other people for permission, telling yourself to suddenly be confident won't change much. You need something more concrete, something you can actually practice. You need to start collecting one thing: evidence. Evidence that you can make a decision and survive when someone doesn't approve. So, for the next 7 days, don't try to become a completely different person. Don't announce that you suddenly don't care what anyone thinks. Don't argue with everyone. Instead, practice something much smaller. Make one decision every day without asking for unnecessary approval. Just one. That's enough to begin. It could be something simple. Choose the book you actually want to read. Wear what you genuinely like. Decide how you want to spend an hour of your free time. Say no to something you don't want to do. Share an opinion respectfully, even if someone might disagree. The goal isn't to prove everyone wrong. The goal is to practice listening to yourself. Before asking, "Do you think this is okay?" Pause. Ask yourself, what do I actually think? Then ask, why do I think it? And finally, would I still choose this if nobody praised me for it? That last question is powerful because sometimes we don't actually want the thing. We want the recognition that comes with the thing. When you learn to separate those two, you begin to understand yourself. But don't take this idea too far. You can become so focused on not needing approval that you stop listening to anyone. That's not mental strength. That's ego. So remember this. Don't reject feedback. Reject dependence. Imagine someone tells you, you're wasting your time with this goal. Don't immediately obey. And don't immediately become defensive. Pause. Ask, is there something useful in what they said? If there is, learn from it. If there isn't, let it go. Think about what happens when you practice this repeatedly. You make one decision without seeking approval. Someone disagrees, and you realize you're still okay. Someone misunderstands you. You're still okay. Someone doesn't like your choice. You're still okay. Slowly, your brain learns something new. I can handle disapproval. And that's where real confidence begins. Confidence isn't always believing everyone will like you. Sometimes confidence is knowing you'll be okay, even when they don't. You don't become stronger because everyone supports you. You become stronger because you learn that you can keep moving without their permission. So today, I want you to do one thing. Think of one decision you've been afraid to make because you're worried about what someone else will think. Write it down. Then ask yourself 3 questions. What do I actually want? Why do I want it? Would I still choose it if nobody approved? If your answer is yes, take one small step toward it today. You don't need everyone's permission to become stronger. You don't need everyone to understand your journey. And you don't need everyone to believe in you before you believe in yourself. Remember, other people's opinions can be information, but they should never become your identity. The goal isn't to become someone who doesn't care. The goal is to become someone who can care without losing himself. If this video gave you something you can actually use, don't just watch it. Practice it. Make one decision today without asking for unnecessary permission. Listen, think, decide, and keep building yourself. Because mental strength isn't built when everyone agrees with you. It's built when you can still move forward when they don't. This is LT Insight, and this is only the beginning.